everybody. Welcome back to the Micro Vlogcast. This is Season 7, Episode 12. In earlier episodes, we talked about sustainability through three different lenses. Through the lens of your organization, through the lens of your buildings, and for a couple episodes here, we're going to talk to Brad and Danny about sustainability through the lens of your products. And so why don't I kick things over to you guys. Tell, like, sustainability, products, like, what is the opportunity? What are we thinking about? How do we go about this? Go.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of high-level words that get thrown around. Like, people want declare labels, they want to be part of living building, living product, and there's a lot of like really cool high aspirations that they can achieve for it. The issue is there's a lot of underlying things that need to fall into place first before you even start thinking about those, and that's where you really need to understand the core data of what's going into your product. So recycled content, material efficiency, any chemicals you're putting into your products. And once you have a core understanding of that, the opportunities are endless of how you can optimize and report out the impacts of your products.
Yeah, so like a complete oversimplification of like, hey, get this cool label or this cool standard, and an underappreciation for like, do you know what is going into these products and where that information is and if it has changed or not?
And if it's structured, right? So like, it's one, a lot of times we do like, get invited in to kind of like bring everything up and get it all organized, but keeping it organized and keeping it structured because is key to making sure that you're continually improving and getting these products better over time.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think one of the interesting things you can do once you have structured product data that's consistent and you know where it comes from and you know what it is and you know, and it's like sort of usable and accessible, one of the things that is a really hot topic that people are doing with that is something called life cycle assessments. And so maybe just like a hot minute on like why that is meaningful.
Yeah, so currently carbon is a huge driver in this world, and an LCA is, to put it simply, a way that you can actually calculate the embodied carbon of your product, along with other impact categories such as acidification, eutrophication, outside of just carbon. And that looks at your product as a whole, from taking the raw materials out of the ground, actually mining the ores, refining them, all the way into what you're doing, so what you're putting together, what you're putting into your product. How is that product used? And then at its end of its life, is it reincorporated back into the beginning, or is it just thrown into a landfill and left there for good?
And I think just to stress, the LCAs tend to be really impactful when they're brought in early in the process. And I think that's one thing that we've reiterated a lot is they get a lot of notice at the end of the process because we say this is a thing we did. Yeah. But bringing it in helps reduce any of those impacts.
Yeah. Very similar to a few episodes ago, Matt and Mike and Kelsey were talking about new building construction and the idea of like asking the right questions earlier in the process is what actually will make an impact. If you're just trying to codify what's already happened, your ability to make an impact is significantly diminished.
Yep.
So cool, good stuff. Thanks, guys. We'll jump in one more episode next week on more product stuff. Until next time.
Poor Brad is.
He's got those, and he's got those big shoulders.
Yeah, right. I'm just trying to keep as small as I can in the center.
Just hunch.